Yo, how we living, Biggie Smalls? What's good, my peoples? How do I share this thing? How do I share it? How do I share this Oh, there we are. There he is. No, don't start at 0. How we doing, people? What's popping? What's popping? What up, Ivan? Ivan's Garcia. What's good? How we doing? How we living? What up, Steve? What's good? How's y'all weekends? Do anything good? I fucking dominated National Donut Day. I had like 17 donuts. It was incredible. Incredible. 3 rules to live Streamzn. 3 rules. Tuck your shirt in. Tuck your shirt in. There's no yelling. And I forget what rule number 3 is, but follow those first 2 very strictly. Went to some grad parties. How old are you? Was it like good grad parties, like fucking high school, college? Like you were doing keg stands kind of grad parties? Or are we talking like your child had to go to a grad party and you had to go with them? I wouldn't wish a college graduation on my worst fucking enemy. I was trying to leave my own graduation. I thought about not walking just because it was so goddamn hot out. Let's see that hammer. This, my friends, is what we call the boomstick. Sorry, I can't be doing that shit on live stream. That's fucking ignorant and immature. Hold on one sec. Let me share this on Twitter real quick. I'll get into any fantasy football questions you guys actually have. Okay. We so bike. I'm 23, man, so I got Liddy. Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's your opinion on Allen Robinson? So, Allen Robinson, I think like the big storyline this summer is that the Bears are going to be the Rams, right? Bears are going to be the Rams. What's up, Isaac? What's up, Brendan? What's up, Eric? Bro, timing was incredible. What you talking about? Timing's always impeccable. So, you know, the big storyline here is that the Bears are going to be the new Rams. And I think that I like that. I do like that. But I also think that they're going to spread the ball around a lot. And I'm having a hard time seeing Allen Robinson getting up to the target total that a lot of people think he's going to have just because they have so many weapons there. It's kind of like if it is like the Rams, that's exactly how it's going to be, right? Because a lot of players were eating on that team. There's a lot of guys taking targets. They didn't have an alpha dog on the outside. Woods 8, Cup 8, Watkins 8 at times. So like, so I think that might happen in Chicago. And a lot of people want to pin Allen Robinson as like the elite wide receiver 1 because of his build and stuff. But I'm just afraid between Robinson, Tariq Cohen, Trey Burton. I love Anthony Miller. I think Anthony Miller's a dark horse to actually lead that team in targets, bro. So, yeah, and that's the other thing, right? You can't just expect the Bears to be like the fucking GOAT, even though I think they're going to be a super underrated. All right. Oh, so you guys are asking about the Green Bay Packers backfield. I just actually put in a lot of work on them yesterday. My Monday videos, I'm not doing mock drafts on Monday anymore. What I'm going to do is like same thing I do on my Instagram where it's kind of like in the muck. I'm going to compare 2 players or 2 guys that a lot of people are having conversations around. So the first one, which is going to be released tomorrow, is Aaron Jones versus Jamal Williams. So I'm going to break down the exact situation, who I like the most, who I would take, like where I would take him and all that kind of shit. So, yeah, Bone, I'm telling you, man, I think one of my bold predictions is Anthony Miller ends up with 8 to 10 touchdowns this year. What's up, Robin? How you doing? How you doing? Any concern with Hunt's hamstring? Did something happen to Hunt that I did not see? Did he get hurt? Yeah, so guys, just stay tuned if you want to know about the Green Bay Packers backfield and my thoughts on that. I will get into that. This Monday will be that video. And also will be on my Instagram too. So go follow the Instagrams. Thoughts on Brandon Marshall in Seattle. Those are my thoughts. Goff, Mahomes, or Dak 14-team Dynasty. I would go with probably Mahomes. Thoughts on Tevin Coleman in a contract year? Yeah, Coleman's a guy I was targeting heavily in Dynasty and keepers. I'm not sure I really love him in redrafts. I mean, he's been going around the same spot that he was kind of last year. He had a little bit down production, but I think that was overall as a team. So I like Coleman, but he's a guy that can't really like rely on week to week, and I don't like to necessarily take those players in straight up redraft. Joe Mixon or Dalvin Cook? That's Dalvin Cook for me for sure. You got to like the situation there. I don't think it's even close between the two offenses and just the field position that Minnesota is going to constantly have and the opportunity that he's going to have in that offense. Gordon or Landry? You're talking about Jarvis, I'm assuming. So you mean full PPR? Are we talking about I mean, anything besides full PPR, I'm absolutely going with Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon versus Stephon Diggs is going to be another in the muck for me. So let me know what up, Kellen? What up, everybody? What up? Hey. All right, so listen, this is how we're going to do it. On the Mondays, I'm going to break down the 2 players or a couple players. So far I have Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. I'm going to look at the 3 Rams wide receivers. I'm going to look at Stephon Diggs versus Josh Gordon. I'm going to look at Royce Freeman versus Ronald Jones. I'm going to look at, I don't know, a bunch of guys. So let me know what 2 guys you want me to compare against each other, and I'll do a breakdown if enough people want to see there. Evans or Adams in Dynasty. What are their ages right now? Off the top of the head, I like Evans in Dynasty, Devontae Adams in redraft for sure. I just think that, yeah, Evans is 24. And I'm like kind of nervous about what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Okay, Devontae Adams is 25. So I think like I'm more confident that Evans is going to be locked up with Jameis Winston for a long time than I am Devontae Adams is with Aaron Rodgers. And if Devontae Adams is not with Aaron Rodgers as his wide receiver 1, then I don't think they really hold value to each other. I didn't know that Ivan Hunt hurt his hamstring. I mean, since it's so early, I'm not concerned. But if something like that happens late July into August or something, I'm going to be a lot more concerned because we saw how it affected a ton of different guys last year, right? Like Danny Woodhead finally came back and was hurt again. DeMarco Murray, even though they are older dudes. So, let me get an opinion on Joe Mixon. And you heard that 3rd round. What? Speak motherfucking English, Brendan. Browns receiver to own. I'm going Josh Gordon. Imagine drafting Mike Glennon. I'm drafting Mike Glennon in all my fucking leagues this year. I'm starting him in week 1 too for most of them. Rolls Royce. I actually wrote. I've written up already Aaron Jones versus Jamal Williams, and I finished Royce Freeman versus Ronald Jones today. So that will be probably next Monday's video. Mike Glennon. Here's a good one. Keenan Allen versus Michael Thomas. That is a really good one. But I do have Michael Thomas ranked a little bit higher. If it's full PPR, I'm probably going to lean towards Keenan Allen. But any other type of setting, I'm going to go with Michael Thomas. Seems like Diggs doesn't play good against star corners. Trying to think. Who does he usually line up against? I mean, they have Detroit, so they have Darius Slay. Detroit's got another. Quandre Diggs was really good last year, too. Packers were horrible, but they did draft 2 rookies. I'm not saying that they're going to be like elite on the corners, but definitely an improvement there. Who else they got? Chicago should be an underrated D, but they don't have great cornerback play. I don't know. I don't know shit about fantasy. I don't know why the fuck you guys follow me, to be honest. If Gronk isn't available, should you just wait to draft tight end in the last few rounds? No. I think because Hunter Henry was definitely my fucking the ultimate value at tight end. So I think there was basically 3 guys that I had my eye on value-wise when it came to tight end. Number 1 was Hunter Henry by far. Where he was getting picked for his floor-ceiling combo was absurd, but now he's gone. Gronk becomes my number 1 value at tight end. I was looking at MFL 10 ADP today. He's like number 27 off the board now. He keeps moving down, which is fucking crazy to me, but Gronk is a ridiculous value there. And then we have and then Delaney Walker is my favorite is my second favorite value now with Hunter Henry out. So Delaney Walker is a guy I'm targeting. So I don't want to be left with no one at tight end or like guessing and hoping someone breaks out. But I think Delaney Walker is probably the safest guy that can get at a good value. So he's a guy that I want probably in most of my leagues if I don't end up getting Gronk early. Opinion on IDP leagues. I have never played in an IDP league, so I'm probably not the dude to motherfucking ask. You know, Mike Glennon is the GOAT. Absolutely. I have to decide on keeping Marlon Mack. Is he the guy in Indy? Well, let me know like the pros and cons. Like, what do you got to give up in order to keep him? Like, is there another player that you could take over Marlon Mack? Because I mean, at this point, yeah, I like Marlon Mack where he is. He's a value in best ball drafts, but we obviously have no idea where he's going. So let me know what was Gucci with that. What's up? I like Kittle. What's up, Devon? Yeah, dude, I like Kittle too. He's my favorite like late round tight end, but I don't think I'm comfortable picking, like, especially in like a 10-team league, I'm not comfortable picking him and being like, oh, yep, that's set or forget it. He's my starter for the year. He's a guy that I love with a ton of upside, but I do still want one of the top tight ends. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I definitely think Garcon has anything left in the tank. So the San Francisco wide receivers situation is kind of fucking crazy to me. Not crazy, but it's an interesting one because you have Marquise Godwin, who's a deep threat, who kind of went off without Garcon. So that's the big caveat there. Like, we haven't seen him play with other weapons on the field. And you have Pierre Garcon who's coming back, who's crazy targets last year on a per-game basis. But at the same time, Godwin hadn't really broken out. We hadn't seen him with Kittle. We also haven't seen Garcon with Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's not necessarily a situation I want to stay away from. But, like, dude, Pierre Garcon broke his motherfucking back last year, or his neck, right? He's pretty old. And a lot of the times when you have guys like older guys that rely on their size and athleticism, that starts to dwindle as you get older, right? So you don't have as much athleticism in the tank, especially coming off a serious injury at that age. So I think Garcon's last year of value in drafts, I think Garcon, yeah, his last year of value in fantasy drafts was last year. Like, you had him for that immense target share only because there was nobody else on the roster. Now they traded up to get Dante Pettis, who I think is a great fucking pick in Dynasty leagues, because Garcon will probably be out after this year, depending on the contract. I'm not really sure, but when will the draft guide be finished? Yeah, I was working on it all morning. Yes, all morning today. It's we're creeping right now. I have the outline for everything, and for the most part, it's just me organizing all the content I have. So I have most of the sections figured out, and like the actual aesthetics behind most of it. Now I just need to start inserting like the actual, like the top sleepers into it. But I have most of that shit already done because I'm doing analysis fucking 24/7 out in the motherfucker. So I don't think I answered your question. So I'm shooting for either July 8th or July 9th launch for the first issue, which is a Sunday or a Monday. Your thoughts on Naheem Hines? He'll have his chance to get involved. So if he's a beast, yeah, he has some potential, but I don't see him being much more than like the passing back, How about Mike Williams? The sleeper is a good red zone threat with no real improvement today. Yeah, Mike Williams definitely had Hunter Henry not got hurt, I would have stayed away from Mike Williams for sure. There's a lot of data backing up wide receivers that have missed their entire rookie year, and it does not look good for them the long run, the future. Mike Williams is obviously one of those, but there is some opportunity. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be giving you enough consistency on a week-to-week basis for you to rely on him whatsoever. So I'm not like high on Mike Williams at all. Is it worth it to wait on luck? For all the Colts questions, guys, when it comes to redrafting the Colts, I'm not even going to waste my time analyzing the damn situation. My dog grinding up at the HQ. That's what I'm saying. Thoughts on Njoku? I would love to see him in a place where there's a ton of opportunity, but Cleveland is not really that place. So his ceiling is capped. I mean, I almost expect him to put up the same statistics, if not maybe a little bit more this year. But, bringing in Landry and Josh Gordon back for the full season, like, the targets are going to be fucking very hard to predict on a week-to-week basis there. So Njoku's another guy that I'm not comfortable drafting and just plugging him into my lineup, being like, yep, I got my tight end, because that's probably not going to happen. What are your thoughts on the rumors of Belichick sabotaging the Pats? It's probably true. He probably has some long fucking diabolical plan. Is this a fair trade? Full team, keeper league. My cousin is offering me Dalvin Cook. I'm glad you put the cousin part in there. Otherwise, I would have been like, this is fucked up. Offering me Dalvin Cook and his first round number 1 overall pick for David Johnson and my first round number 2 overall pick. That's fucking interesting. My cousin is offering me Dalvin Cook and his first round number 1 overall pick. So it's basically, it's Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley, or David Johnson and whoever you like as the number 2 back. And I think that comes down to how high you value, like who your number 2 running back is, right? Like, do you like Rashad Penny? Do you like Sony Michel? Michel is my personal number 2 rookie running back this year. But I think I would probably take Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley because those are guys who are both in my top 10. While David Johnson has the highest ceiling of the 4, I don't and I'm assuming you're talking about it's a rookie draft, right? So your number 2 pick, unless there's like guys that aren't kept that are really good. So I'm not really sure. You might need to be a little more specific. I think Mark would be much closer to your bold prediction this year, Nick. Bound to happen. Maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. My bold predictions the last couple of years, besides last year, were fucking spot on. And last year was just a fucking not a good year for the brand. Isaiah Crowell, a massive value. It's another one of those situations. A lot of running back situations can be described as messy without a clear starter in a bad offense. That would be the New York Jets. That would almost be Miami. There's a lot of offenses like that. And for the most part, I'm probably trying to stay away because there are so many, like half of them are like that and the other half have like clear-cut workhorse backs. So that's why I say pile up on as many of those guys as you possibly can early on, and then you don't have to rely on guys who are in shitty situations. So Isaiah Crowell, a massive value? No, I don't say it's a massive value only because his ceiling is not really – I don't know. They're still going to use Bilal Powell. Elijah McGuire was pretty good last year. That offense could be really bad. So I'm not – it's not a guy I'm jumping to have on my team. John Ross is going to be a breakout player. Doubtful that offense. I do think John Ross is actually a good receiver, a good route runner and a technician too. So he's not just a guy who they pick because of his speed, even though I'm sure that swayed him into the top 10. But there's just, I don't know. That offense overall just doesn't have a lot of opportunity to give people, let alone a second wide receiver. So Galladay be a wide receiver 2 for the Lions this year. Dude, I'm excited to see what happens with Galladay. I mean, going off of last year with Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, I doubt that Galladay is going to get enough playing time to warrant like really good fantasy days in redraft leagues. So it's like, But Galladay's a guy who in keeper leagues I absolutely love because I think if Galladay can prove himself, right? Like he got on the field not a ton last year, but the times he got on the field, he was a fucking beast. So it's like if he can slowly creep up his usage throughout the year, I think he could eventually take over that spot from maybe Marvin Jones or see what happens, and then the next year, like the following year, he could be the outright number 1 there. So that's what I think about that. Woods or Cooks for Rams? Straight up, I'm going with Brandon Cooks. Should I keep Andrew Luck for an 11th round or Deion Lewis for 14? If you're picking like right now, if you need to know now, I mean, it's impossible to say that without knowing what's Andrew Luck's status. But if you have to pick like soon, yeah, definitely Deion Lewis in the 14th. Sony, let's fucking go. So I started my first Dynasty redraft league or Dynasty rookie draft last night. So it was a team that I adopted, and it's a super flex. So you start 2 quarterbacks in the league, so they go off the board pretty quickly in rookie drafts. The number 1 pick went Saquon Barkley. The number 2 dude went with fucking – what up, Jorge? Number 2 dude went with fucking Royce Freeman. And listen, if you like Royce Freeman a lot, I understand that. Maybe he's your favorite back behind Saquon Barkley. But I thought it was fucking crazy considering it was a super flex league. So you could start 2 quarterbacks. So I thought that was, I don't know, that was out of control. So it went Saquon Barkley, Royce Freeman, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, who I stupidly thought I was going to be able to get in the second round. I don't know why. And then I was picked number 5, and I took Sony Michel. So that should tell you how high I am on Sony Michel this year. Already keeping Derrick Henry in the 15th round. Interesting. I mean, both of those are great values. Lewis and Henry, 15th, 14th round. That's fine. If I don't keep Mac, I need to trade for a keeper. Amari and Derrick Henry are being offered pretty cheap. I had Amari last year. I'm not sure I can do it again. I mean, what do you have? Like, I don't know. I'm not really understanding the logistics behind all this. So hype a season start. That's what I'm fucking saying, Kyle. I'm wondering what your thoughts on Kamara are. I love his talent, but I worry about the opportunity this year. I mean, listen, I can understand why people are worried about the opportunity this year, but now with Ingram out, he has the opportunity now in the first 4 weeks to prove that he can handle more opportunity. You know what I mean? So those first 4 weeks are going to be huge. If he comes out and he's given 25, 22, 25 touches a game and he handles it like a beast, there's no reason why when Ingram comes back that Kamara will drop back down to like 14 or 15 touches. If they're like, damn, Kamara's a beast handling this workload, then I think it's huge the fact that he has the opportunity to prove that he can handle the opportunity. You know what I mean? So had Ingram not been suspended, I would have been a little lower and be like, yeah, maybe he doesn't get to prove that, you know, he could do the goal line work or prove that he could play all 3 downs. But I also think Jonathan Williams is going to probably get a decent amount of carries. He'll probably get double-digit carries in a couple of the games in the beginning. Any one of those RBs in an unpredictable situation that you really like as a possible breakout? I would say Kerryon Johnson. I really like Kerryon Johnson in Detroit, but Theo Riddick is such a staple of that passing game that it's kind of hard to see that happening. What other backfields do they have? Let me pull up a list of the team names and see what I'm thinking about possible breakouts. So I'm just going to look. You guys can still see me right now, right? I'm on another tab. Dalvin, baby. So I'm saying, let me just go down a couple quick ones. What's good, Jorge? What do you think about Will Fuller, Houston wide receiver? Well, I'm on board with the fact that I think Deshaun Watson is not going to be a superhuman again this year. So that obviously affects all of them. But I've been getting Will Fuller in a lot of my best ball leagues. Because he's going to have those big games, of course. But Will Fuller is not a guy I'm necessarily reaching on because I think Watson is not, you know, it's impossible for him to keep up what he did last year. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting offense to see what happens. But I'm probably not, like, he's not a guy I'm necessarily targeting. But I could be wrong, though. You know, there's a lot of the times you go into a season and you look at players and then – like your analysis is like, oh, he was too good last year that he can't do it again. When in reality, maybe it's like, you know what, maybe he's just a fucking beast. And that's like what we can come to expect. So it's possible that's with Will Fuller, but I don't know. He's not a guy I'm necessarily crazy about. Full PPR, Fournette, Gordon, or Cook. Full PPR. I think I'm still going with Fournette, man. I love Fournette this year. I really do. What are your thoughts about how Tyreek Hill will be with the brand new quarterback? Also, what do you think? Let me look down. Let me look down some of the backfields and see who I think is possible breakout. Well, I told you guys I really like Corey Clement. I'm trying to grab him at the end of every single draft. Steelers, Browns. Nick Chubb is a guy who if you have room to stash, he could be a second half of the year kind of league winner. Colts, Marlon Mack is my favorite guy there, definitely. Dolphins are backfield I'm staying away from only because Kenyon Drake's price is way too high at pick like 30. Because all you're hearing is, you know, and this is actually something I just wrote up for my Instagram post, but all you're hearing is shit like, you're not hearing any endorsements, right? You're not hearing anything ringing endorsements about Kenyon Drake being the guy there. And he might be the starter, but you're hearing things about everyone else, right? You're hearing things about Frank Gore is probably going to be more involved than most people think. You're hearing how much the Dolphins love Kalen Ballage. So it's not like knocks on Kenyon Drake per se, but it is how much they like these other players in the backfield. Ballage is a guy who it's not going to be the workhorse there. He never was in college. No reason to randomly just think he will now just because of his fucking size or whatever. But Ballage is like a really, really, really good pass catcher. So I just think it's a messy backfield. His ceiling is really capped because that's really all he does is catch passes. Frank Gore is just going to ruin shit and fucking ruin people's days who draft Kenyon Drake. And Drake's capital is just too high for me to take. So I'm avoiding the Dolphins backfield. Love Jerick McKinnon. Love Dalvin Cook. Texans, I really like Deonta Foreman as a breakout player this year. But until we get word on what's going on with him and his Achilles, it's hard to say because he did come into last year with fucking out of shape kind of, you know, and I'm afraid now that he's got that Achilles injury that the same thing might happen. Do I like Darius Geis this year? Yeah, I do. I like Geis in the sense that I don't know. I guess it depends on your scoring system. I think he's a great standard play. I think he is someone who might surprise in half PPR. And in full PPR, I think you just got to be smart and kind of be just know that Chris Thompson's going to be there, of course. So Darius Geis is a guy, again, I love him. I love his talent. I think he's the second best running back in the draft behind Saquon Barkley. But you got to be realistic when it comes to fantasy and just realize that the situation he's in should get a lot of early down work, of course, and he's capable of catching the ball. But they do have Chris Thompson, so I'm not getting ahead of myself there. Not a guy I'm necessarily targeting or reaching up around earlier to get. Thoughts on the Eagles' backfield? JHI is they give the ball to too many different people. Like they never work with a workhorse there. So JHI is not a guy I'm probably going to own on my teams, but Corey Clement is a guy I want to own on basically all my teams. Thoughts on DJ Moore? Nah. Not this year, at least. Not this year. Yeah, too much ice. Would you draft Terrell or Mike Williams late if you drafted Allen? Not really, no. I'm not really interested in anyone on the Chargers offense other than Keenan Allen and Melvin Gordon. What are your thoughts on Blunt? Stay away. Kerryon Johnson's a better runner. They might give Blunt the goal line work, but he's not someone that you're going to want to draft and start. Thoughts on KCQB? I don't know. I think he's got a great arm. I think they have all of the weapons there for him to succeed. So I think we're going to find out very quickly whether or not he has what it takes. He got to sit for a full year. He has some of the best offensive-minded coaches there. They're adapting an offense that fits exactly how he ran it in college. They have great weapons. Like I think we're going to learn really quickly whether or not Mahomes is the guy there in KC. It's not one of those situations where we're going to have to sit there for 2 years like the fucking Jets who pretend like they need 6 years to figure out whether or not Bryce Petty is their future. Not going to be the case with Mahomes. So drafting him, listen, you can get him late in drafts. So if you can get him late in draft. The other thing I will say is they start out with a very, very, very tough quarterback schedule. Patrick Mahomes does. So that makes me hesitant to draft him higher than his ADP. But it's still pretty late. So if you want to grab Mahomes, definitely grab one or two other quarterbacks, and you'll figure out real quickly whether or not Mahomes will be your guy. You got what I'm saying? Thoughts on Edelman? Was high on him, cooling a little bit because Edelman's a guy who's always relied on burst, and we've seen it in the last few years. Guys who are older up in age and rely on burst. And since he's coming off this serious injury and he is older, it's possible that he loses some of that. And if that goes on, if that piece of Edelman goes on the decline, there's a good chance that his numbers really drop off this year in New England. So I'm cooling on Edelman, which means, man, Chris fucking Hogan is probably the best value at wide receiver in fantasy football this year, man. I'm telling you. Confident in Mixon as your RB2? Yeah, I would be fine with Mixon as my RB2. Gallup as my wide receiver 3? Nah, no way. I was listening to a podcast the other day, someone from like one of the Cowboys beat reporters saying Allen Hurns is definitely the guy to own in Dallas this year because it's going to start off with Allen Hurns and Terrence Williams as the starting wide receivers in 2 wide receiver sets. Gallup will get on the field, but his fantasy numbers are probably not going to be there. So I think Allen Hurns is a guy they said they're moving him around a lot. He's playing the X, the Y, the Z, the fucking F, W, whatever it is. Allen Hurns is my guy that I want to own on Dallas as a wide receiver. Should I keep Jordan Howard last round in the Standard League or Kareem Hunt? Interesting. Kareem Hunt. I think I'm probably going to go Kareem Hunt there, to be honest with you, just because I like him a lot more as a player, and his ceiling's way higher in this offense. Top 15 back again this year. The Jordan Howard talk is kind of scaring me a little bit, man. These rumors coming out like they're asking him if he's a workhorse or whatnot, and we know he's not a workhorse, obviously. Like fucking, if any of y'all are fellow athletes in here, like, listen, I got some good hands, and I feel like you either got them hands or you do not have the hands. It's not something for 4 fucking years you need to work on and then maybe you'll improve. Like Jordan Howard just doesn't have hands. It's the simple fact of that, and that is going to hold them back in this offense a little bit. An offense that's going to be very like up tempo. That's going to use their running backs in the passing game a lot. He's going to miss out on a lot of that opportunity. So, I do like Jordan Howard, but if he's not getting so many carries, like there was games last year he had like 35 carries. You can't expect that to happen again. So I'm cooling a little bit on Jordan Howard in like PPR leagues, but standard leagues, yeah, I think he'll definitely be in the top 15 rankings for me. Is McCaffrey worth a second-round pick in half PPR? Which second-round wide receiver would you take over him? McCaffrey, he's not someone I want in the second round in half PPR league. Full PPR, maybe, yeah. Which second-round wide receivers would you take over him? Depends what you think of as second-round wide receivers. Off the top of my head, I would take Devonta Adams. I would take, I don't know, like wide receivers are dropping pretty low. So Devonta Adams would be up there. If Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Julio Jones, any of them, if you mean them in the second round, I would take all of them easily over Christian McCaffrey. Who else is in the second round? I feel like there's not a lot of second-round wide receivers besides that. I would probably take A.J. Green over Christian McCaffrey as well. Would you take Golden Tate or Marvin Jones if you had to take one? That one would probably be more team dependent, depending on who I've taken up to that point. Like if I take an Antonio Brown, I would probably like Marvin Jones on my team because he has more upside in the bigger games. But if you need someone more safe than Golden Tate, overall, I probably lean Golden Tate more than I would Marvin Jones, just straight up. So Trevor, McCaffrey, or Howard, I'd go C-Mac there. Michael Thomas or Julio. I have Michael Thomas ranked ahead of Julio in my rankings. Thoughts on Devonta Adams, Edelman, Cook, and Kamara in comparison to their ADP? What? Sell me Juju. I've seen some experts being lower on him because of his targets a game and his expected progression on his yards per catch. Bro, I don't even think I have enough energy to sell you on Juju right now. He just led basically every statistical category efficiency-wise for wide receivers last year. He's fucking 20 years old. The kid doesn't – all he wants to do is get better at football. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do drugs and shit. He just practices football. His Antonio Brown on the other side of him, Big Ben. Not a lot of people realize this, and I didn't realize it until I heard on the Fantasy Footballers podcast the other day. Check this out. Big Ben over the last 8 games of the second half of last year, Big Ben threw for 2,500 yards and 19 touchdowns. Right? Pace that out to a 16. This was the second half of last year. Pace that out to a 16-game pace. Big Ben, 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns. So for people worried about Big Ben, I would say do not be. And that doesn't even count the 460-yard, 5-touchdown game that he threw against the Jacksonville motherfucking Jaguars in the playoffs. So Big Ben's still fine. They're one of the highest passing teams in the NFL in terms of volume. I absolutely love Juju, man. Where you live in NJ? I live in Bergen County too, my friend. I'm in Emerson. Where are you from? Number 4 pick out of 10. So Barkley is my number 6. So I would, based on that, no. But I mean, I'm not gonna be mad. Kennyworth a second round pick in drafts. What kind of scoring you working with, Devin? Did you masturbate today? Nah, not today. I've had a lot of work to do. It was a busy weekend though. Zach Ertz have another great year. I'll take Delaney Walker over Ertz at their ADP, man. I'm telling y'all, the 20-year-old burst onto the scene with 4 top 10 performers over the last 8 weeks and displayed elite. Thank you, sir. Thoughts on Chris Godwin? I've heard a lot about him, but will he come out with Evans and Jacksons around him? No. I really liked Chris Godwin. I think he's a really good player. He's just another piece in an offense that's not going to get the opportunity this year, unfortunately. If he does, there's really no point of taking him in a redraft because if he does end up making an impact, he's someone that will be on the wire, because Jackson and Evans are going to start on the outside, and then eventually he'll have a breakout game if he does start taking more snaps in that offense. Then, you'll pick him up maybe 5-6 weeks into the season. So I wouldn't really worry about Chris Godwin now. Pittsburgh has since traded away. What do you think of Robbie Longlegs? Robbie Anderson is someone I have not actually dove into yet. It's kind of hard to say who they signed. They signed Terrell Pryor. he's not dealing with legal issues, right? I think that's over with. I don't know. I'll dive into Robbie Anderson eventually, but I haven't yet. Thoughts on Diggs? Currently trying to work up a trade in Dynasty to move up to take Diggs in early third. Yeah, I mean in Dynasty, I would like that third round. I'm kind of afraid that Diggs is one of those guys that just like might. I don't know if we're ever gonna get like the Diggs of the future that everyone's investing in. Thielen took such a big target share, right? I think he was at like 28% of their targets. So that told me that he was their one. Obviously, they have a new quarterback now, but Diggs can't really stay healthy either. You should expect him to miss a few games a year. But I mean, I would be fine with that in the third round because he's not someone like you need to wait on to give you production. He'll get production this year. I'm just afraid that like I don't know if we're ever going to see like Stephon Diggs turn into the Antonio Brown that people fucking think of. Mark Derrick. Oh, I talked about Kenyon Drake before for a minute. I'll leave this video on my channel, and you can go back and look through it. I think it was probably at like the 16-minute mark or something, or 20-minute mark. But no, I'm avoiding Kenyon Drake. Yeah, dude, Mike. You and me talked about this last night, man. Like, I'd be fine giving up my first round for Stephon Diggs. If Stephon Diggs was in any of your dynasty drafts now, rookie dynasty drafts, he would go like that. What tight end do you think is the best considering rank? I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but Delaney Walker is my favorite value, probably besides Gronk. Devin, what was your question? McKinnon worth a second-round pick in drafts? I think that's a little stiff because we haven't seen McKinnon actually be a workhorse anywhere yet. So second round is probably reaching. I mean, it depends how big your league is. If you're talking about like 12-team league, end of the second round, like pick 20 to 24, like yeah, that's probably about where I have him ranked. But if you're talking about like 10-team leagues, pick 13, then yeah, it's definitely a reach. Leaning towards Ingram and Walker, maybe Rudolph. Yeah, I don't know. I'll answer any questions that you guys throw at me nonchalantly. I'm cool, calm, and collected at all times. That's what happens when you're fucking unemployed. Ninth pick, standard league. Julio, Gronk, Geis, Penny, Jones. Wow, you went all in on the rooks, huh? No, I don't hate that. I don't like Jones in the fifth round, though. More comfortable with Diggs or Josh Gordon as your wide receiver one. As my wide receiver one, probably neither, to be honest with you. But they're going to be one of my videos that I put out in the coming Mondays when I compare two players. I'm going to go Diggs versus Josh Gordon. I haven't really dived in. I live in Montvale. Oh, that's what's up. I've been bowling there quite a few times. Your boy done fucked up the lanes. What do I think is the best deal for ADP of quarterbacks? Oh my God, there's so many. Stafford is my favorite guy at the end of the top 10. But I think Matt Ryan's in for a positive regression year as well. Like Mariota, Jameis Winston are both really good values. So, yeah, I don't think Winston really ever fell off. I think it was just an injury. When you look at his like points per game, when you go to like the RotoViz game splits app, he was still throwing for like 300 yards a game whenever he was actually healthy. So I think Winston's going to be fine. Super undervalued. Depends who's going to be there. Buck Nasty. Buck Nasty. Nasty Buck. What's up, man? What up, James? Call Michael Thomas in the fourth. What would you personally do with the first three picks? I'm thinking RB. What? Oh. Yeah, I would definitely grab some running backs. I mean, I never tell people to go into the draft knowing what position they're going to take, but because you never know what happens. Like, what if everyone just straight up goes running back, running back, running back, running back, running back, and then you're there and it's like Julio Jones or fucking Jordan Howard? Like, obviously, you're not going to take Jordan Howard over him. So, I mean, yeah, I would like to escape those first three rounds with at least two running backs, but it depends who falls. Thoughts on Cameron Meredith? Yeah. Someone I'd pick up on waivers later. How should I start a Dynasty League? You could use Flea Flicker. You can use SleeperBot. You can use, there's a few different good platforms for it. How do you shift up down QBs when in an 18-2 quarterback league? I don't know what that means, bro. You crazy as motherfucking hell. Are there too many mouths to feed in the Giants' offense for Saquon or Odell to be? No. Realistically, they're like the only mouths to feed. I'd be fine having Odell and Saquon, to be honest with you. Yeah, Mike knows when is a reasonable time to draft Ingram. I will say he won't end up on my team probably. I'm not comfortable taking him before pick probably like maybe like 70. Your reaction to J.R. Smith. Bro, I feel so fucking bad for LeBron James. Like, his teammates, deadass, just sat outside of the fucking three-point line. I felt like I was playing YMCA basketball. Like, you know, I'm usually LeBron James on the motherfucking court. And I felt for him what was going on there. His team was just, and they weren't even making the fucking shots either. They went like over fucking 4. Gets me pissed. Don't fucking ask me if I'm all right. When on an escalator, do you also step up as you move, or do you just chill? It depends. Well, an escalator going up, it depends where I'm going. Like if I'm commuting to work, when I had a job before I was unemployed, yeah, I'd be on the move. And if someone gets in my way on the fucking left side of the escalator, you know, if you're on the right side, that's where you chill. If you're on the fucking left side, you don't fucking chill. Because if you chill, then then I'm gonna pull a fucking Ronald Jones and I'm gonna run straight into your fucking back, and then I'll probably fall because that's what he does. But you don't sit in the left side of the fucking escalator. We're talking about escalators or elevators? No, you can't even. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. I'm usually a runner. I like my physical fitness, man. If I see stairs, you best believe I'm running up them motherfuckers. Thielen or Diggs? How early would you take each of them? They're really close. I prefer Thielen. Yeah, I prefer Thielen, and I'd probably prefer him in all in all types of leagues. He's such a big target share, and the thing was like he only scored, I think, what he scored 4 touchdowns last year, and he had a very big piece of he had like a high volume of targets in the red zone and near the end zone. So if he has the same usage this year, you should expect that touchdown number to increase pretty heavily. So. Wouldn't surprise me to see Thielen end up with somewhere between 7 and 8 touchdowns. Where the fuck is Zeb? Yo, Zeb, I don't know what happened to Zeb. He added me on Instagram, and then he actually gave me a shout out on Instagram. Like, he literally made one of his Instagram pictures a picture of me. I was like, this is fucking weird, Zeb. Crazy as hell. Gurley, Bell, Zeke gone from keepers. L. Around as the earliest you take Penny? The earliest I would take him, probably mid-4th. I'd prefer 5th. Who do you like better, David Johnson or Zeke? Full PPR, I'm going David Johnson. David Johnson. You think Reed will do well with Alex Smith? I don't think Reed's going to fucking play ever. Thought on Randall Cobb. So, yeah, I talked about Randall Cobb a little bit. I forget, like, when I talk, because I'm putting a lot of content out between like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and all these, and my emails. So I forget like where I talked about shit. So sorry if you hear me talking about the same shit over and over again. Randall Cobb. So my theory on Green Bay is this is probably one of the more exciting training camp kind of fucking things that you're going to have to keep an eye on when it comes to who the wide receiver 2 is in Green Bay. Because you want to assume it's Randall Cobb. Thing is, he hasn't been good over the last few years. And this offense clearly needs a little bit of a shakeup, right? You can't just expect the exact same fucking thing again. Aaron Rodgers is going to get pissed off. So I think going into training camp, right? They have Devontae Adams as the 1. That's fine. But then you have Randall Cobb, Geronimo Allison, Jamal Moore, Equanimeous St. Brown, these 3 rookies that they picked, right? And I think it's going to be like up for grabs who takes those number 2 and 3 roles. So while Cobb probably has, he's probably the favorite to get the number 2 role, and if he does, then yeah, I love Randall Cobb. But I think a lot of people are just penciling him in, clear cut number 2 wide receiver in Green Bay, and I think like something's off there in Green Bay between Rodgers and the coaches and the weapons and some shit like that. Braun basically playing with a bunch of G League players. I know it sucks. Oh yeah, he's out of Cleveland, no fucking doubt. Aguilar, we can't even be mad at him this time. Aguilar, much better pick than Alshon just because of his ADP. Yeah, at this point, I mean, we have to hear some shit on Alshon before. I feel like the first Alshon's going like what, like pick like 45-ish now. I feel like as soon as we get a good report about Alshon, it's going to shoot up to like 10 spots higher. So yeah, I would probably prefer Aguilar. One of my leagues, I have the first and fifth overall pick. My rookie draft, so I'll have Gordon, Mixon, Saquon at running back. Should I? That's tough. Do you start 2 quarterbacks? No, right? If not, I would definitely try to trade back. Because if you're not going to be able to use another running back in that league, there's probably no point of just reaching for one. Are you going to the vlog the draft day weekend with your subscribers? Oh, fuck yeah, bro. That's going to be like the best vlog. Same way I do it with like my my live draft with my friends. We're going to do it there, but like way cooler. Yeah, we're going to vlog that shit. That's going to be sick. Favorite non-fantasy player that's retired? What do you mean? Favorite athlete? Man, you old. I'm old as fuck, B. Devonta Adams versus AJ Green. I have Devonta Adams ranked higher. Give me the better offense. Give me the better quarterback. Give me. I don't think I need to explain that much more. David Johnson. I know. I have that fucking stuck in my head. I like, bro. I like the fantasy footballers a lot, and I respect what they do, but I don't know. They're fucking weird. They be saying some weird shit sometimes, and they're always like singing and shit. I'm like, can we stop? Rank these Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Devonta Adams. Tell me what kind of league we're talking about. Can you post a video later so we can watch all of it? Thanks, boss. Yeah, I'll post this. I'll leave this up on my channel. What is your favorite podcast you listen to for fantasy football advice? So I'll show you guys which podcasts I listen to. If you're not already subscribed to my podcast, go on there. It's just BDGE Fantasy Football. I'm actually going to type that so you can. I don't really need y'all to even subscribe. It'd be cool if you did, but go fucking leave a rating and review, please. Go leave a 5-star review, and then I'm trying to move ahead of like Roto World and Pro Football Focus. Where's the link to motherfucking my podcast? I don't know if this will. I don't know how to link it, but just go search it, bro. Can I pin this? Can you pin things? Okay, let's get down. Let's get down to business. I'm a basketball player. That's nice. So my favorite podcasts for fantasy football are the Fantasy Footballers, Roto Underworld with Matt Kelly, Roto World Football, the Daily Fantasy Edge with Adam Leviton, 4 for 4, the most accurate podcast with John Paulson. I like it. A lot of them are boring. They're all like broken up. I would say 4 for 4 is really good for like actual really good analysis, because John Paulson, the guy who's like runs 4 for 4, it's the number 4, then the word FOR, and then the number 4. So 4 for 4. He's like, Fantasy Pros does the expert rankings each year, right? And it ranks out how well people did in terms of like ranking players pre-draft and then in season. And John Paulson's year in and year out, like top 5 out of like the 120 guys. So those are the guys you should listen to. Fantasy Guru with Graham Barfield is another one. So it'd be 4 for 4, the Fantasy Guru podcast, the Daily Fantasy Edge, Roto World Football, Fantasy Footballers, and Roto Underworld. Those is my things. What else do we got right now? Thoughts on Anthony Miller? 8 touchdowns this year. Deadass. That's my bold prediction. Why do you like Mixon so much? He showed nothing last year. I mean, the offense showed nothing. He came into the year without a clear defined role. They didn't let him eat until, the last 6 or 7 games, and then he started doing well. He's an incredible athlete, pass catcher. So if they use him in that sense, if they let him catch a fucking ball, he could be a beast. So I think he's going into this year knowing that he's a clear workhorse, and I think they're going to give him 18 plus touches a game. And anyone with that kind of talent getting 18 plus touches has first of all, a great floor, but also an incredible ceiling. So much like Le'Veon Bell the first year, where he showed like almost little to nothing and then broke out the next year. Plus, they have an improved offensive line. They drafted the center in the first round. They got Cordy Glenn from the Bills, who not healthy normally, but when healthy, a very good left tackle. Do you have a PS4? Nah, I don't own any video games, actually. It's kind of sad. How do I get one of your subscriber leagues? So, guys, there's 3 subscriber leagues that I have, bro. There's 3. There is the live draft, which I'm doing in New York City. 9 of you guys are going to come out, stay with me, Airbnb. It's going to be sick, but it's also pretty highly priced. So if you're not trying to pay for the weekend, it's going to be cool. We're going to hang out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to, it's going to be a good-ass weekend. That's 1. If you're interested in that, you can email me, nick@bigdogsfantasy.com. 2, we have the Dynasty Startup League, which is going to be like $100 to $150 buy-in annually. Another serious league. So if you're not willing to put up that kind of money, then don't try to enter this. But if you want to, here's what you're going to do. Just go to my channel, my YouTube channel, and just type in Dynasty League or Dynasty Startup League. You'll see one of my videos is specifically just for that, to show you how to enter. And it'll take you to a website where you enter your information. And then I'm doing a live stream on June 10th. So a week from today is when I will pick the 9 or 11 other people that are going to be in the Dynasty League with me. The 3rd league is going to be, what do you want, bro? The 3rd league is going to be just a regular redraft league. I did one last year, but it's going to be cheap, like $10 or $15, so that everybody can at least try to enter. But I'll announce that later, probably like end of July, early August, because we're not going to be drafting until like the last week of the season. Oh, man. Do I play Fortnite? No, I actually never have. I just watch my friends fucking do it. And shrivels their brains. Would you keep Joe Mixon at a 5th round value in a PPR league? I feel like he doesn't give a 5th round value, but up in the air. Yeah, I would absolutely keep Mixon. You don't think he would be a 5th round value? Yeah, I would keep Mixon in 5th round. Rank these: Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Devonta Adams, half-point PPR. You have the right order right there, Brandon. That's how I would rank them, but very, very, very close. Is Evan Silva the smartest fantasy analyst? No. I think that again, he's one of those guys that I really, really respect his work and the amount of time he puts into it. But I think everyone at Roto World has like this agenda, and they get these fucking ideas. They get these pieces of player analysis, right? And that's like fucking what up, Buck Nasty? What up, Jack? Richie, what's good? So they get these ideas, right, about a certain player, and then that's the agenda they push all fucking off season, and that's like it. So I do respect the work and the analysis they put in, but I feel like a lot of the time they get this thought in their head, and then the upfront work is really good a lot, but I feel like it doesn't always play itself out that well. So I think he might. I don't think he's the smartest fantasy analyst. No, I think he might be the hardest working one, but. Fantasy Football Empire BG. Goddamn motherfucking right. We're going to be the first fantasy football lifestyle brand ever. People still in here? I haven't had a question in like 30 minutes. Hello. I think this thing's frozen. Bark twice if it's fucking not frozen. Who here? Yeah. All right. I don't know if you guys hear me. I'm going to disconnect and then come back on. Oh, no. Oh, we chilling. All right. We good. I was just about to end the stream. Bark. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Damn. Squad's rolling deep. Thoughts on Christian Kirk? I like Christian Kirk. Not for redraft really this year. That's just another offense that I'm probably trying to stay away from outside of Fitz and David Johnson. They're not going to be good enough to supply 3 people with good fantasy years. But Kirk's a really good keeper or dynasty pick because Fitz will be done next year, and that opens up a lot of slot opportunities. Saquon or DJ? I have DJ ranked over Saquon. Can you make a case for Joe Mixon as a top 5 running back? I mean, yeah, you can make it, but it's not. I would be making it just for the sake of you telling me to do it. I don't actually believe it's going to happen. So, do you like Dice at his current ADP? What is his current ADP? Thoughts on Melvin Gordon? Yeah, Melvin Gordon's a guy that I'm happy to draft if he falls to me where his ADP is. Not avoiding him, not reaching for him, but I'm happy with Melvin Gordon. Thoughts on Lamar Miller? A guy that I think at this point you have to like more and more as the days go by because they didn't draft anybody. They didn't get any free agents. We don't know what the fuck's going on with Deonta Foreman and his Achilles. So, I mean, he's been like top 10 in snaps per game and touches per game. And with Deshaun Watson, he played a lot better. So if he's the starting back there, they don't really have much else. So kind of have to like Lamar Miller, I think. Not like him, but like where he's going, he's a very good value right now. Hopkins or Odell? Bro, that's a good question. And I almost think I almost think that Odell might hop over, no pun intended, hop over Hopkins in my rankings. But for now, I'll go D-Hop. I do really like Odell, though. Favorite quarterback in a new situation, rookies included. I think Case Keenum's low-key going to be kind of nice this year, and you're going to be able to stream him. I like Tyrod Taylor a lot with the Browns. Considering how, like, I know he wasn't, like, great. His upside wasn't big, but considering how well he did as a fantasy quarterback with the fucking Bills and the weapons that they gave him. So I like Tyrod. What other new quarterback situations do we have? If you count Patrick Mahomes, I think he'd probably be my favorite in a new situation. Chuck. Best fantasy quarterback overall. Who is my one? I think Aaron Rodgers is my one. Yeah, Jonah, I was just talking about that because someone asked about Randall Cobb. I think it's really up for grabs. I don't think it's, I don't think it's going to be as obvious as people think it is when we look back on it this year. Kittle and Njoku, a competent tight end combo. I would rather have someone who's ranked ahead of both of those guys and then pair that guy with like a Delaney Walker with a Kittle or an Njoku. I don't think I'd be happy drafting both of those guys and then trying to stream week to week. I think Charles Augustin gets overhyped every year. Do you agree? Phillip Rivers would have been one of my favorite streaming quarterbacks this year prior to Hunter Henry's injury. Hey, Dan, I just got your email. Unfortunately, anyone in the live draft weekend from New York, you got to be 21 and older. So we're going to be sucking down fucking margaritas. Sorry to curse. You're 15. So yeah, sorry. 21 and older for the homies that are in that want to be in the New York City League. Damn, this shit's gonna blow up during Sundays on during the season, huh? This is a random Sunday in the summer. And I'm gonna do this every Sunday, probably leading up to the draft. And for those of y'all that have not purchased the draft guide, I'm probably gonna do private live streams for the people that have purchased that too. Using the second option is OBJ and redraft, Nuke and Dynasty. I think that's the right way to look at it, Mike. Broncos DE. What the question is, homie? What up, yee? Yeah. Your girl. Is that how you say that? How do you say that, Lopez? Is it yee or your? Yeah, free my man's Bobby Shmurda. That's what I'm saying. Trying to shmoney dance. What up, my dog? Your girl. Yeah, Dan. That's what's up. You could use promo code Julio at checkout. It'll save you like 10% or some shit. See, I'm just fucking taking profits out of my pocket because I love y'all. You like Evan Ingram? No, not at his current draft position. I do not. I think with all the weapons coming in here, his target total is going to go down a bit. My man Dan trying to use his fake. That's what I'm saying, bro. Gotten too many fake IDs taken away in New York. It's not worth it. We went with a 0 RB strategy. Which RBs would you target? Man, I would hate to do that this year. Let me pull up some of the ADP numbers right now. What do you consider 0 RB? Like, where would you? What round can I start to answer that? At what round can I start drafting running backs in? No, I think he was just asking if he could be in it. But I told that man's, you don't want no part of this shit. Best fantasy quarterback overall. I told you, bro. Aaron Rodgers. GG. JG. Sonny Michelle or Henry. Sonny Michelle. For show. Michelle for show. Hey. Mike, we're so fucked when Michelle gets fucking benched for fumbling first week. 0 RBs, guys I would target. I mean, Alex Collins. Right now his ADP is in the 6th round. Well, depending on how big your league is. He's 53 overall. Nick Chubb, if you have the luxury of sitting him down. Rex Burkhead. Marlon Mack. Even CJ Anderson, man. I think people are sleeping on CJ a little bit. He's just going to have the Jay Stu role, and he's much better right now than Stewart has been the last couple of years. Kerryon Johnson, another guy. There's a few guys that, like, especially the rookies, that I think can come on late that will have a nice second half of the year. I think Devontae Booker is actually low-key another good one if you're going to go 0 running back, because there's over 370 opportunities available in that backfield between C.J. Anderson and Jamal Charles being gone, between C.J. and J.C. gone. 370. Now, I know a lot of people are like, yep, Royce Freeman is going to take that. I'm sure he will take a big portion of that. But Devontae Booker had 110 touches by himself last year, and now 370 opportunities. Even if you gave him just 100 of those, right, and Royce Freeman kept 270, that means Booker's over 200 touches for the year, right? So someone you're getting in the 13th, 14th round or whatever, love that. Corey Clement, talked about him endlessly. Love that in the later rounds. Kenneth Dixon, too, maybe. If you didn't get Alex Collins, Kenneth Dixon, someone you can get at the end of the rounds. Favorite type of porn? What do you mean by type? We're talking about, like, race? Are we talking about what the actual subject of the porn is? Like, are we talking about, like, oh, she comes into the back of the cab, that, or like a massage, or like fucking, you know? I need to know what you mean by type. I love smelling my girlfriend's feet after work. I smell smells cheesy. That's nice. It's the way you can get cheese with 0 calories, my man. How to help my league decide between auction or snake. There's beef. Oh, you commented on my YouTube today. I think I fucking I commented back. Told you. If it's 5-5, y'all both appoint a warrior from each side. Your biggest dude from the auction side, your biggest dude from the snake draft. And let them fuck some shit up. Football Sundays, you goddamn right. You know what I'm getting? To drink every Sunday? I'm getting custom wine bottles with the BDGE logo on it. And me and Steve are going to fucking suck down wine every Sunday. Football Sunday is going to be there. Yeah. Where do you have some shit on your ranks? Yeah, he probably creeps into the top 20. How do I help convince my league to switch to half-point PPR? Fucking ask them if they're fucking virgins. Derek Carr, good sleeper. They're a better guy. They're guys I'd rather have that are going like between quarterback 15 and 20. Favorite subject of porn? So you're talking about setting, like environment. I think. Jimmy Graham or Evan Ingram? Ingram. Before you made your draft kit, did you purchase anyone else's draft kit, or did you go with the fantasy football books? No, I do not purchase anyone else's draft kit, and I'm not sure what you mean by books. The shit's all created from the dome, and each year will get progressively better aesthetically. So the content will always pretty much be the same because I put out the same content in terms of depth and player analysis you're going to get. It doesn't change much. I learn a few things, but what will change year over year in terms of the draft kit is going to be how nice it is, and then different ways I can deliver it to you guys, if that makes sense. So no, I don't take ideas from other people's, and I don't take their draft kits. I'm fucking in fantasy football so much throughout the summer that I don't even really need like other people's draft kits. Fantasy books mean the magazines. Oh no, I don't think I've ever bought a magazine, a physical copy. Most hated NFL player. Ooh, man. That's hard because I'm a Falcons fan, so I can't hate. Like, I hate the Saints, but I can't hate Drew Brees. I think I need to look at some teams and think of players. I think the fact that I can't think of someone off the top of my head probably means I don't hate anyone that much. Yeah. Sorry to ruin your question. Thoughts on Rashad Penny in standard leagues? Standard leagues, I was gonna say it's better than PPR leagues, but I guess it really doesn't matter because like he's not gonna be playing on third downs much. But I also don't think they're gonna be running the ball much, like by the end zone. I don't think they're even gonna be there that often. So Rashad Penny's someone I'm definitely cooling on a lot. Did you watch the TV show The League? Nah, I never watched it. I mean, like I've seen a couple episodes, but I didn't watch it consistently. Wide receiver 3s with huge upside. Chris Hogan. Chris motherfucking Hogan. Everyone in here, just draft Chris Hogan. Just fucking draft him. Who else is monster upside? Corey Davis has some really good upside, I think. I really like Emmanuel Sanders as a value, not so much for upside. Alan Hearns and Anthony Miller. Favorite value plays, bruh. AJ Green or Mike Evans. I need to pick one to beat the Keith. Oh, fucking Keith. I would go AJ Green. He's my personal pick there. Perfect. Yeah, he's kind of a fucking piece of shit, but I feel like I unless he's playing against my team, like unless I'm in the fucking AFC North, I don't really care enough about Perfect. McKinnon or McCaffrey. Oh, Aiden, you got me. That's one of the in the muck videos I'm making. McKinnon versus McCaffrey. So for those of you guys who are new or haven't been here, I'm doing every Monday I'm going to put out a video where I take two guys that are like big question marks, like Aaron Jones versus Jamal Williams, and for McKinnon versus McCaffrey, things like that. I'm going to do that every Monday leading up to the drafts and break them down. Thoughts on Kupp, dude? Like, I know it's probably ignorant to think it, but I really like Kupp. I mean, I'm in that Rams offense. Like, I don't particularly want any of the wide receivers based on the prices, but I'll take the one who's the cheapest, and I think it's Kupp. Dude, I think Kupp is the white Keenan Allen, man. I really do. I think we could be in for a big breakout. I'm not banking on it, but I like the thought of it. The more I think about it, the more I think about the thought, the more I like the thunk. Can Bella get over 1,000 yards rushing or receiving? Fuck yeah, he can. He'd a goat. No, he doesn't break off enough big plays like David Johnson to get that, though. Should Bartolo Colon play quarterback for the Bills? They'd fucking be better off, honestly. He probably has better dynasty value than fucking Josh Allen, even at 51 years old. McKinnon or Michelle? I would go McKinnon there. If there's an RB that can rush for 1,000. Yeah, definitely DJ. Do you personally prefer auction or snake? I don't really play in I don't think I have any auction leagues this year. So snake is just something that's common to me. What I've been done doing. Some of y'all fucking email me the funniest shit, man. But from what I've heard, everyone who does auction absolutely love that shit. You person, it's good. Um, what up, Alec? What up? What up? What up? Thoughts on Lamar Jackson? I mean, if he plays, yeah, he's someone you want to have on your team. But we're not. I mean, he's not going to be the starter come opening game. So I feel like there's no point of really analyzing him right now. But yeah, if they're like, yep, Lamar Jackson starting next week, he's someone you want to grab on your team ASAP. What's your favorite pick in Snake? I don't know. It's very like dependent on the year, your league mates, like if you know them well, who they're going to draft, the type of scoring you're in. This year, I would preferably like one of the top. Actually, I'd like a top 6 pick. I think. I think. The fuck is this? I'd like one of the big running backs. That's like a featured back. How should we value Joe Mixon? How should we value him? I'm fucking tired, guys. I'm losing steam right now. Where do I have Mixon ranked? I have him, I think, in the early 3rd round. So I think I'm actually higher on him than most people. But I think the Bengals' offense is going to be improved. I think they added the lineman. I think he's going into the year knowing that he's going to be the workhorse. So I don't know. I believe in his talent. I think he's a fucking animal. So I like Mixon maybe more than most people do. Watson or Newton. I have Cam ranked above Watson. The most humble opinion on Brett Howard's situation. Realistically, if you're in a 10-team league, I probably hope I'm not starting either of them. I probably don't want to draft either of them because, again, they're going to eat each other up. There's a lot of weapons there in Tampa Bay now. So if I had to take standard league, I'd probably go Brett just because he's so utilized in the red zone. PPR, I'd probably go Howard because I think they'll probably boost his usage up this year. Garoppolo or Mahomes. Straight up Garoppolo. Where'd you take Allen Robinson? Where's he going right now? Like 40-ish? Allen Robinson's probably a guy I want to probably 5th round. Maybe end of 4th. Thoughts on Ye? Dude, I don't think I could dude, Ye will always be one of my favorite fucking artists ever because he was so in his prime. He was so good at making amazing music. But like the last few albums, man, I did not enjoy them. Barkley or Kamara. So close. I think it's preference. Full PPR, I'd go Kamara. Otherwise, I'd probably go Barkley. How do you feel about Garcon? Talked about this early. It was actually probably one of the first questions I got on. Well, I don't think I'll own any of Garcon. I think him coming back from broke his fucking neck. He's coming back. He's old. They added weapons. I don't know. And the Garcon's not for me. Will you be streaming your real drafts? I will stream. I'll stream the Subscribers League draft when we're in New York City. I probably won't be streaming fucking my E-Town Get Down draft, but I do a full vlog of the whole draft day. So you guys will like that video. I do it every year. It's one of my more popular videos. So I might not live stream it, but there will be a full video breaking it like with all the drafts. So you go to Go Ball. Nah, I wish I went to fucking Go Ball. I didn't go though. Thoughts on Crabtree? I think everyone's going to have the same analysis on Crabtree. It's like, oh, he's the number one. He's going to be a good PPR play, but his ceiling is low. I don't know. I don't really play in any full PPR leagues, so he's not a guy I'm really targeting. His touchdown ceiling is going to be really low. They don't like pass the ball a ton there, Baltimore. So Crabtree, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be comfortable starting him unless I'm in a full PPR league and he's like my wide receiver 3 maybe. So. Oh, all right, yo. I'm about to hop off. Your boy hungry. I gotta eat. So, Crabtree or Cooper, like Amari? I'll take Amari there 10 out of 10 times for sure. Yeah, I'm hopping off. So, go follow your mans on. Yo, what up, Daryl? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the family. It's so funny to me when people are like, "Oh, I just found your channel like last week or yesterday or something," because I've been doing these fucking videos for like 3 years now, and I feel like I know, like some of you guys I've talked to like personally for 3 years now, and it's just like most people don't know like my background and who I am as a person unless you've been with me for a while. So it's funny. But what's up, Daryl? Well, welcome to the family officially. But yeah, you caught me at a bad time because I'm about to sign off. But I'll leave this video up on my channel if y'all want to check it out. I answered a ton of questions, and we're gonna be doing this every Sunday going forward and in season throughout the year. So go purchase the pre-order draft guide, my friends. I've been working on it. Go follow me this week. That's the slogan for the week. Let's zominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Motherfucking zominate.